recording. Can you record it too, or am I only allowed to?
I have no idea. Let me see. Oh, it's already recording, but yeah.
Okay. I think it's recording. It says recording on mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start whenever you're ready for the intro.
All right. Second. I'm doing the intro, right? Okay. According to a study done by James Farron, a professor at Stanford University, the United States is ranked as the 84th most culturally diverse country in the entire world. My name is Youssef. I'm from Morocco, and I'm currently majoring in computer science here at Mason. This is my partner Amal. He is from India and is currently majoring in business. While talking to each other and completing this assignment, we learned that there are many aspects of culture that can have an impact on how we each live our daily lives. Three main points of difference that we will be discussing today are religion, family, and lastly, language.
So the first difference that we discovered between us was our ties to religion. Religion can be one of the most aspects of a family, and it could mean a lot more to some than it means to others. For example, in my family, religion is an integral part of our daily lives and is a major factor about how I go about things in my daily lives. I am deeply religious and I follow all the teachings and customs of my religion, like wearing a red dot on my head, praying in the morning, praying before I eat, and small things like that. So my family is a little bit different in a couple ways. Firstly, his family is not as deeply tied together through religion as mine. And secondly, although he does not practice his religion, he is not as deeply religious of a person as I am. This difference is related to the concept of indulgent versus restrained culture. Cultures with restraint have rules and very strict norms that are required to follow as a part of our culture and can also be related to the family. In an indulgent culture, these kinds of strict restrictions on expected behaviors are generally not found. In an indulgent culture, the families are not as devoted to the religion and are not strict in the way that restrained cultures are. This difference between indulgent and restrained culture might impact how me or Youssef decide to live our lives in the future. For example, because Youssef is part of more of an indulgent culture, he might be more likely to change his way of life or religion, while I am more likely to continue with my religion or keep my religious ties together.
Now that we've talked about our differences in religion, we will talk about the second difference that we discovered between us, family ties. My extended family is always in touch with each other and are strongly connected, even though most of them live in Morocco, while me and my immediate family live in the United States. Amal's family, on the other hand, is more strongly connected with immediate family members rather than extended family. In my culture, having strong ties with your family members is very important. Deep familial ties are always kept even when family does not live near each other. My family is always there for each other and helps out with things such as money so that nobody will have to endure financial hardships alone. In Amal's culture, extended family is not as much of an important factor. When his parents immigrated to the United States, they did not have much money and did have some struggles. Despite these troubles, his family now owns multiple restaurants, which are part of his daily life. This key difference is related to the concept of individualist versus collectivist culture. In an individualistic society or culture, ties between extended family are loose, and family members are more strongly connected with immediate family than anyone else. With collectivist cultures, extended family are more deeply connected to each other and maintain a group harmony. Future experiences might be impacted by this difference in that our family ties in the future might be very different. While I will most likely keep strong connections with extended family members as well as immediate family, Amal will be more focused on the immediate family first and not pay as much attention to the extended family.
Now that we've talked about how our family ties differ, we will now talk about the final difference that we noticed, which is language. Language is one of the most crucial aspects of anyone's culture and allows them to communicate with people who share the same culture as well as people who don't. Youssef grew up in a household that used Arabic as well as English, but since he lived in the United States, both his parents spoke English and ended up using English as his main language, and he could only speak a small amount of Arabic. On the other hand, I'm able to speak multiple languages since I live with my grandparents who don't speak English. So I learned our home country's language. The difference is related to the concept of communicating in a culturally diverse world. Being able to speak more than one language is a great benefit because you are able to communicate with much more people than if you were only able to speak one language. Being able to communicate more broadly in a culturally diverse world is also important, and being able to speak multiple languages can greatly help someone achieve that. Not being able to speak a second or third language effectively can reduce the number of people you're able to communicate with. It also helps when you live in a place like the United States, which is a very culturally diverse country with people speaking in many different languages. I will have the advantage in the future if I ever want to move my home country, since he will not be able to communicate with any community he becomes a part of.
In conclusion, during this experience, me and my partner learned that there are many aspects of culture that can have an impact on how we each live our daily lives. We learned that we have cultural differences in religion, family, and language. Cultural diversity is slowly becoming more of a big factor in the United States as time passes by. The more diverse it is, the more important it becomes to be able to identify key differences between the different cultures in your community. Thank you. Okay.